Our first guest is Virginia Giordano, who will talk about a very exciting initiative that her foundation is starting at the Greenburgh Library, a Women's Veterans Peace Garden.
Good evening. Yes, I am Virginia Giordano. I'm the chairperson of the Barbara Giordano Foundation, and our mission is in support of women veterans by providing holistic wellness tools for them as they transition from military service into civilian life. The second part of our mission, though, is also to educate the public about the role of women veterans. Probably most people don't know that any women veterans, but there are over 200,000 just in our tri-state area. And there are way over 2 million in the United States. And as you probably realize, they have been involved in keeping us safe since the American Revolution.
Moving the microphone a little bit closer to you,
This one?
and then I'll follow my own advice.
Okay. So, as I said, one of the things that we wanted to do is to educate the public about women veterans and the role that they've always played. So we thought that what we would do is establish a peace garden that would bring people together to a very special spot to honor these women. And when we did our research, we realized that, as far as we can tell, there are no other gardens in the whole United States that honor specifically women veterans. So we did speak to Mr. Feiner about this, and he embraced the idea and encouraged us to look at the library as a possible site for this. And this is why I brought that little visual aid so that you could see where in the library we were talking about. So we did meet with Mr. John Sexton from the library, and actually also a representative from the Girl Scouts, because once they heard that we wanted to do this, they wanted to be part of it. And they said that the girls would help to water the garden and to do those kinds of things. So it is a kind of a team effort. So what I'd like you to know is that we'd like to get this done by September, because we very much like to dedicate it in September. So we're working on, putting into place all of those things that need to happen. We did meet with the Cornell Cooperative, and as you can see, as part of that sign is the schematic for the garden. And so they developed a beautiful garden for us. And one of the things that we asked for is that all of the plants, we asked for two things. One was that all of the plants would have meaning. So they all represent loyalty and patriotism and love and things like that. And the second thing that we wanted to make sure happened was that the garden never looked like it had died. That so each season things come up, so it's always green. So one other thing that I really want to talk about, though, is that even though this is about honoring the women veterans, we also, and we love the idea that what Mr. Feiner said, is about thinking about using the library site as this potential place, because it would bring families together to enjoy the spot, to sit there, maybe to get a book and to read, or to go into the library and maybe use it maybe a little bit differently than they would normally have, normally had. So I'm here tonight to ask for your permission to do that, to actually follow through on this and to have the first peace garden for women veterans in the United States, as far as we can tell, in Greenburgh, with the hope that other communities will follow suit. And actually, just so that you know, some other states have reached out to me once they heard that we were doing this, and they very much are interested in replicating it also. So Greenburgh would be the first.
That's amazing.
It is amazing, and I applaud you for embracing it and for kind of steering us in the right direction. And we're excited by this. So the goal is September, as I said, to have the dedication. We're working on a number of issues. Hopefully that will happen, but we are definitely going to get this done with your permission.
And the library has supported this. We met John Sexton, and we met a few weeks ago, and the town staff has also been working with Virginia, on this. So there's really no issues from the
What about the
standpoint.
advisory board?
What?
Diana Judner is the liaison to the library. She happens to not be here today. But did you meet with the advisory board?
The library has already approved it. They voted Mr. Sexton told us that they had already had a discussion about this, and they very much welcomed the opportunity to have that there. As you can see, we'll be, it's kind of an area, we selected that area for a number of reasons. Actually, Mr. Sexton really suggested that because, not only because of its location, but the backdrop makes it incredibly beautiful.
So where is the area exactly?
Do you see where that little circle is?
The circle in front of the entry door that people drive around to drop off books?
Can I get up and show you? It's right here.
Oh, okay, see, I thought it was,
No,
the
no.
shape of it, I thought it was around the circle in the island in front of the front
So
door.
that whole area will be cleared out, obviously, and actually the benches will be across the pathway from it, so the benches will be looking at, the bench will be looking at the garden. And, because it's not a huge space, but it's a space to do, it's enough to be really special. And we liked it because obviously as people come into the library complex, they'll see it.
Sure.
I think that's great.
Very nice.
So
Well, thank you for your efforts.
Thank you
this
for
is
your
the first
support.
non-controversial item since I've been town supervisor. So thank you.
You're welcome.
What's your next step?
So we actually are meeting with a horticulturist next week, and who said that he would like to be part of this, and he wants to take a look at that site and tell us specifically who can help us to get the plants, to get the bench. And by the way, that would be one thing that I would ask the town to be able to do, is to put in the bench once we actually get it. Because obviously that is not something that we can do ourselves. And so once we meet with the horticulturist, then we can definitely move forward because we'll have access to the plants and the things that we need to have. So that's why I'm still hopeful that by September we can actually get this done.
I spoke to Rich Friend, and he indicated that, we could use, he would work with the foundation in installing things that have to be done and working with you.
Right.
Really appreciate that. I love the idea that we're putting, Greenburgh is already on the map for so many really good things, but that this is something that is really unique and hopefully will encourage so many other communities to do the same thing.
That is terrific.
Huge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm just thinking of something. Would it have made, sense to have a dedication on Veterans Day? Because I'm thinking that if you have a dedication like in September, it's one thing, but if you do it on Veterans Day, it really would highlight the role women veterans, have had. And then we could almost like incorporate a Veterans Day like ceremony, this as part of the Veterans Day, program. It's just a suggestion. Because, I think it's Veterans Day and Memorial Day, those are the 2 days that the public pays attention.
That's a really good point. Those are the 2 days that the public pays attention. We had thought September originally because we were thinking weather, and November is over.
Well, you could have almost like have it done by September, but if you had like a public ceremony, like on Veterans Day, I think it would get more, attention.
I absolutely agree with you, and so go back and talk about this, but that makes a lot of sense, actually, to do it then.
I'm also wondering if we looked at, say, the living history, tapes that we've had, or, I'm just sort of curious if there's any women veterans who were interviewed as part of that, and maybe one of the things that we could do, to help publicize this, is put out a call for residents who were veterans, female veterans, to share their stories. We could basically, if there's people who live in the town and their parents, their mothers were veterans, they could tell their stories. You could even host your own cable TV program and interview veterans, and we could and I think that would really, be nice.
Well, we would love to do that, and I think that that really is an important way to bring attention and to bring people forward. As I said, most people don't know any women veterans. They think they don't know any women veterans because women veterans don't tend to speak up and say that they're veterans. So I think we would be surprised how many are our friends and neighbors, really. So I think that that's a great suggestion. So I appreciate it.
Maybe what I could do is I'll ask Janelle to do like a YouTube of this presentation, and then we could do I'll post on the website, the fact that, if there are women veterans who want to get involved in this, they could, contact you.
That would be great. We
Great.
appreciate
Do you want to just tell people again how they could reach you and your website?
So our website is giordanofoundation.org, and you can always email us at giordanofoundation@gmail.com. All right, and our phone number is 914-686-8002. So there are
Repeat
multiple.
that a little slower for people that are watching,
Sure. So our website is giordanofoundation.org. Our email address is giordanofoundation@gmail.com. And our phone number is 914-686-8002.
That's
So we
great.
welcome any support that anybody can give or any questions that anybody has. We're happy to answer those.
That is fantastic. Thanks so much.
Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.